I know English, but I can't speak. Have you ever had this problem? You understand English when someone speaks slowly, but when they speak normally, you suddenly think, wait, what did they say? Maybe you know many English words. Maybe you studied English at school. Maybe you watch English videos. But when it is your turn to speak, your mind becomes quiet. You know the answer, but you cannot say it. You want to speak at work. You want to talk to your neighbors. You want to order food without fear. You want to join a conversation in London, Toronto, New York, Sydney, Manchester, Vancouver, or Melbourne. But sometimes one small problem stops you. You are thinking too much. You are translating. You are checking grammar in your head. And by the time you make the sentence, the conversation has already moved on. If this sounds like you, stay with me. Because today we are going to do something very simple. We are going to train your ears, your mouth, and your brain together. And yes, you can do this even if you are busy. You do not need 3 hours. You do not need to live in the UK. You do not need to live in the US. You do not need to be perfect. You just need a few minutes and a little courage. And here's the best part. You are not going to sit quietly and only listen. You are going to listen, pause, and speak. That is shadowing. But before we start, let me tell you a quick story. A small story. A few years ago, imagine meeting someone called Daniel. Daniel had studied English for years. He knew grammar. He knew many words. He could read news articles. He could understand simple films. But when he moved to an English-speaking city, he had a problem. People spoke quickly. Someone at a shop said something Daniel did not catch. A coworker made a small joke. A neighbor asked him a simple question. Daniel understood some words, but not the whole sentence. So he started saying, sorry, again, sorry, again. After a while, he became quiet. He thought, maybe my English is bad. But that was not the real problem. His English was not empty. His English was not broken. His brain simply had not practiced real-time listening and speaking together. That difference changed everything. So Daniel started a small practice. He listened to one short sentence. He stopped the audio. Then he copied the sentence. Not perfectly, not beautifully. Just honestly. At first, it felt strange. After a few days, his mouth became faster. After a few weeks, he noticed something important. He was not waiting so long before speaking. That is what we want for you too. Why do learners get stuck? Let me ask you something. When you hear English, what happens inside your head? Do you translate every word? Do you worry about your grammar? Do you try to remember the perfect sentence? Do you become nervous because the other person is waiting? These little problems can make speaking feel much harder than it really is. And here is the good news. Each problem has a simple answer. If you translate too much, we will train your brain to understand simple English directly. If you speak too slowly, we will train your mouth with repetition. If you are afraid of mistakes, we will change the goal. The goal is not perfect English. The goal is clear English. That is a much easier target. One question, but now you may be thinking, what exactly should I copy? Should I copy every word? Should I copy the accent? Should I copy the speed? And what if I cannot speak as fast as the speaker? Good question. Do not worry. We will answer that step by step. But first, I want you to understand one important idea. Your English needs training, not just information. Imagine a student studying football. He watches football matches every day. He learns the rules. He knows the names of famous players. He watches training videos, but he never kicks a ball. Can he become a great player? Probably not. English speaking works in a similar way. Listening gives you knowledge. Speaking gives you practice. Shadowing connects the two. You listen, and then you speak. You hear the sound, and then your mouth tries to make the same sound. You hear the rhythm, and then you try the rhythm. You hear the sentence, and then you say the sentence. This is why shadowing can be such a useful practice. Practice 1. Wake up your ears. Let us start very gently. Do not speak yet. Just listen to this sentence. I left my keys on the kitchen table. Now listen again. I left my keys on the kitchen table. Did you hear every word? Maybe yes. Maybe no. That is okay. Now I will say it slowly. I left my keys on the kitchen table. Now you try. Pause for a moment. Say it aloud. I left my keys on the kitchen table. Good. Do not judge your accent. Do not stop because one sound was not perfect. You are training. Now let us change the sentence. I forgot my jacket at the office. Pause. Your turn. Say it. Good. One more. I need to call my sister tonight. Pause. Say it. Excellent. Notice what we just did. We did not study a grammar rule for 10 minutes. We did not make a huge vocabulary list. We listened and spoke. That is the heart of today's practice. A small challenge. Now I want to test your brain. Do not repeat this sentence immediately. Listen first. I nearly missed the bus this morning. What happened? The person nearly missed the bus. Now say it. I nearly missed the bus this morning. Very good. This little delay matters. You are not only copying sound, you are listening for meaning. That is important. Why slow English helps? Some learners feel embarrassed when they listen to slow English. They think, real people do not speak like this. That is partly true. But slow practice is not the final goal. Slow practice is training. Think about a student learning to play the piano. At first, they play slowly. Later, they become faster. You can do the same with English. We start clearly, then we become more natural, then we become faster. So do not be ashamed of slow English. Use it. Slow English can give your brain time to notice sounds. It can help your mouth become comfortable, and it can make difficult sentences feel possible. The 3 things you do not need. You do not need perfect pronunciation. You do not need perfect grammar. You do not need a perfect accent. Say that again in your mind. You do not need perfect pronunciation. You do not need perfect grammar. You do not need a perfect accent. You need practice. And you need to keep going. Maybe you are living in Birmingham. Maybe you are in Glasgow. Maybe you are in London. Maybe you are in Manchester. Maybe you are in Toronto. Maybe you are in Montreal. Maybe you are in Chicago. Maybe you are in Sydney. Maybe you are somewhere in Europe. Wherever you are, you can create small English moments during your day. That is our goal. Not a huge change overnight. Small practice, again and again. Before we move to the next part, I want you to do one thing. Look around you. Choose one object. Maybe a chair. Maybe a cup. maybe your phone. Now say one simple English sentence about it. For example, if you see a window, you might say, "The window is open." If you see a bag, "My bag is on the floor." Make your own sentence. Go. 5 seconds. Excellent. You just used English from your real life. That is exactly what we need. In the next part, I am going to show you how shadowing really works, and I will give you a simple listening method you can use even on a busy day. So stay with me, because now the real practice begins. Part 2. What is shadowing? Welcome back. If you are still here, good. You have already done something many learners avoid. You spoke aloud. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe your voice sounded strange to you. Maybe you felt nervous. That is normal. Keep going. Remember, confidence does not arrive first. Practice comes first. Confidence often comes later. So, what is shadowing? Here is the simple answer. Shadowing means listening to English and speaking soon after the speaker. You listen, you copy, you listen again, you copy again. You try to follow the speaker's sound, speed, and feeling. It is almost like walking behind someone. The speaker goes first. You follow. That is why we call it shadowing. But there is one important rule. Do not try to become perfect to your first attempt. Your first attempt may sound rough. That is fine. The second attempt may sound better. The third may feel easier. Your job is to keep moving. Why does shadowing help? When you only read English, your eyes do most of the work. When you only listen, your ears do most of the work. When you shadow, your ears and mouth work together. Your brain hears the sentence. Your mouth prepares to say it. Your brain notices the sound. Your mouth tries again. Over time, this can make speaking feel less slow. That is what we want. We want English to feel more automatic. Practice 2. Listen. Pause. Speak. Let us practice. I will give you a sentence. First, only listen. The train was already leaving when I arrived. Pause. Now, say it. Good. Again. The train was already leaving when I arrived. Your turn. Excellent. Now a different sentence. I was looking for a quiet place to sit. Pause. Speak. Good. Now one more. She called me while I was making dinner. Pause. Your turn. Excellent. Notice something. The sentences are not connected to each other. That is useful. You are training your listening and speaking, not memorizing a story. Practice 3. Follow the rhythm. Now we make it a little harder. English has rhythm. Some words sound stronger, some words become softer. You do not have to understand every tiny sound. Listen to this. I really wanted to go with you. Do not say each word like a separate block. Try to make it flow. Listen. I really wanted to go with you. Now you. Good. Again. I really wanted to go with you. Much better. Now, we should probably leave before it gets dark. Listen. Pause. Your turn. Excellent. Do not worry if your accent is different. People from London may sound different from people in Toronto. People in Manchester may sound different from people in New York. People in Sydney may sound different from people in Vancouver. Even people in the same city can sound different. Your goal is not to erase your identity. Your goal is to make your English easier to understand. The big mistake. Here's one mistake I want you to avoid. Some learners hear a native speaker and think, I must copy everything perfectly. Then they become tense. Their mouth becomes stiff. They stop. They give up. Do not do that. Copy what you can. First, copy the sentence. Then improve the rhythm. Then improve the sound. One step at a time. Practice 4. 3 speed training. Now we use 3 levels. Level 1, very slow. Listen. I need some time to think about it. Pause. Say it slowly. Good. Level 2, normal. Listen again. I need some time to think about it. Pause. Say it at a natural speed. Good. Level 3, connected. Now say it without stopping between every word. I need some time to think about it. Your turn? Excellent. This 3-level practice is simple, slow, normal, natural. You can use it with many sentences. A useful question. What should you do if you cannot follow the speaker? Stop. Slow down. Repeat. There is no shame in slowing down. Imagine you are walking up a hill. If the hill becomes steep, do you throw away your shoes? No. You slow down. You take smaller steps. English practice can work the same way. Practice 5, meaning first. Now I want you to listen for meaning. Sentence. I didn't bring an umbrella, so I got wet. What happened? The person did not bring an umbrella. Then they got wet. Simple. Now repeat. I didn't bring an umbrella, so I got wet. Good. Here is another. He missed breakfast because he woke up late. What was the reason? He woke up late. Now say it. Good. This is important because real communication is about meaning. Do not turn English into a test where every word must be perfect. Listen for the message. Let me tell you about another learner. Her name is Sophia. Sophia lived in Canada. She understood English quite well. But at work, she rarely joined conversations. One day, a colleague asked her a simple question. Sophia knew the answer. She knew exactly what she wanted to say. But she became nervous. She said only 2 words. Later, she felt disappointed. But instead of saying, "My English is terrible," she asked a better question. What can I practice? That question changed her thinking. She started recording short English sentences on her phone. She listened. She copied. She listened again. She did this for 10 minutes each evening, not 3 hours. 10 minutes. After some time, she noticed that simple sentences came faster. That was her first sign of progress. Not perfect English. Faster English. That is a big difference. Your turn. The 10-minute idea. You may be thinking, Peter, I am busy. I understand. Maybe you work. Maybe you study. Maybe you have children. Maybe you travel to work. Maybe your day is already full. So do not promise yourself 1 hour. Start with 10 minutes. 10 minutes can fit into many days. On the bus, on the train, while walking, while having breakfast, while preparing dinner, before bed. You can choose your own time. Practice 6. Your first mini routine. Here is today's simple routine. Minute 1 and 2. Listen. Do not speak, just listen. Minute 3 and 4. Repeat short sentences. Minute 5 and 6. Try to copy the rhythm. Minute 7 and 8. Say the sentences without looking. Minute 9. Record yourself. Minute 10. Listen to your recording. That is it. 10 minutes. And tomorrow, you can do it again. But there is still a problem. You can shadow English perfectly for 10 minutes and still feel lost when you go outside. Why? 'Cause shadowing alone is not enough. You also need to bring English into your normal life. And that is what we are going to work on next. Because your English should not live only inside this video. It should follow you into your morning, your phone, your work, your shopping, your evening, and your real conversations. In part 3, we are going to make English part of your normal day, and I will give you simple exercises that do not feel like school homework. Part 3. Make English part of your day. The real problem. Let me ask you a simple question. How many hours do you spend around English every day? Maybe 1 hour, maybe 30 minutes, maybe almost none. But here's the problem. Many learners wait for study time. They say, I will learn English at 8 p.m. Then 8 p.m. arrives. They are tired. They open their phone. They watch something else. And English practice disappears. So today, we are going to change the idea. You do not always need special study time. You can bring English into things you already do. Practice 7. Change 1. Small setting. Take your phone. Look at it. How many times do you check it every day? Probably many times. Now imagine that every time you unlock your phone, you see one small English word. Not 20 words. One. Maybe. Ready? Maybe. Later. Maybe. Today. Maybe. Busy? You see it again and again. Your brain gets used to it. This is not a big lesson. It is a small reminder. And small reminders can help. Practice 8. English diary. You do not need a long diary. Write 3 sentences. That is all. For example, today you might write, I woke up early. I had a busy morning. I want a quiet evening. Now, make your own 3 sentences. Pause the video. Write them. I will wait. Good. Now read them aloud. Do not whisper. Use your normal voice. Excellent. This exercise is powerful because the English comes from your own life. You are not writing about something strange. You are writing about yourself. That makes the words easier to remember. Practice 9. Talk about what you see. Now look around. Maybe you are in a bedroom. Maybe you are in a kitchen. Maybe you are sitting in a classroom. Maybe you are on public transport. Choose 3 things. Look at the first thing. Say one sentence, then the second, then the third. For example, if you see a lamp, the lamp is beside the sofa. If you see a book, the book is open. If you see a door, the door is closed. But do not copy those. Use your own objects. Ready? 5 seconds. Go. Great. You just turned your environment into an English lesson. Practice 10. Think in English. Now we reach an important part. Thinking in English. Many learners say, I cannot think in English. But you do not need to think about difficult subjects. Start with tiny thoughts. When you wake up, I am awake. When you are hungry, I need breakfast. When you're tired, I need a break. When you go outside, it is cold today. When you see rain, it is raining. These thoughts are simple. That is the point. Do not wait until you can think in long paragraphs. Start with small thoughts. A common problem. Maybe your brain immediately translates. You think in your first language, then you translate, then you search for English. That takes time. So here is the solution. Do not translate everything. Use English for the easiest thoughts first. Your brain needs safe and easy practice. If you make the task too hard, you will stop. If you make it easy, you can continue. Practice 11. The 30-second challenge. Here is your challenge. For 30 seconds, describe what you are doing. Do not stop. Use simple English. You can say, I am sitting here. I am listening. I am holding my phone. I am looking at the screen. I am practicing English. But do not copy my sentences. Describe your own moment. Ready? 30 seconds. Go. Keep talking. If you make a mistake, continue. Do not stop. And time. Well done. That was real speaking practice. Practice 12. Read aloud. Now take any short English text. It can be a message, a small article, a story, a school book, a simple news paragraph. Read it aloud. Why? Because silent reading trains your eyes. Reading aloud gives your mouth more work. Your mouth needs practice too. Think of it like exercise. If you want stronger legs, you move your legs. If you want more comfortable speaking, you need to use your speaking muscles. So read aloud for 5 minutes. Not perfectly, clearly. Practice 13. Voice recording. Now, take your phone again. Open the voice recorder. Record yourself speaking for 1 minute. Talk about your day. Do not prepare a perfect script. Just speak. Maybe you say, today was a busy day. I had a lot to do. I went outside in the morning. Then I came home. Now I am practicing English. Again, do not copy that. Make your own story. When you finish, listen to your recording. Do not attack yourself. Do not say, my accent is bad. Instead, ask, could I understand myself? Where did I stop? Which sentence felt difficult? That is useful feedback. I want to tell you something honestly. I know how frustrating English can feel. You can work hard and still have a bad day. You can learn 10 words and forget 5. You can practice speaking and still feel nervous. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are learning. I want you to remember this. A bad practice day is still a practice day. You do not have to win every day. You just have to return tomorrow. Practice 14. One English message. Do you use WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, or another messaging app? Then try something simple. Send one short message in English to someone who is comfortable with English. It could be, how was your day? Are you free later? What are you doing this weekend? But create your own message. Keep it simple. You are not writing an essay. You are communicating. That is the goal. Practice 15. Short videos. Now think about short videos. You may already watch shorts, reels, videos. So change the way you watch. Do not watch only for entertainment. Choose one short English video. Listen once, then listen again. Then repeat one sentence. Only one. You do not need to copy the whole video. One sentence is enough. Tomorrow, choose another. Small practice can become a habit. A city challenge. Imagine you are walking through London. You see a bus. You see a cafe. You hear people talking. You see signs. Now imagine Toronto. Different streets, different sounds, different people. Now Manchester, then Vancouver, then Sydney. The places change, but your English practice can stay with you. Wherever you live, you can train your ears. You can train your mouth. You can train your brain. You do not need to wait until you travel. Start where you are. But there is one more problem. You may know all these exercises and still not practice them tomorrow. Why? Because knowing what to do is not the same as doing it. So in part 4, we are going to build a very small daily system. And I will show you how to practice even when your day goes wrong. Part 4. When life is busy, keep your English alive. Welcome back. You made it this far. That tells me something. You really want to improve. But now I want to talk about the hardest part. Not grammar, not vocabulary, not pronunciation, consistency. Doing something again tomorrow. The I'm too busy problem. Maybe you work 8 hours. Maybe you study. Maybe you take care of your family. Maybe you travel across a city every day. Maybe you come home tired. Then you think, I have no time for English. Here is the solution. Stop waiting for a perfect hour. Use small moments. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You do not need every day to look the same. Practice 16. The 2-minute rule. Choose 2 minutes, only 2. Listen to English. Then repeat 2 sentences. When the 2 minutes finish, you can stop. If you want to continue, continue. But you have already completed the task. Why does this help? Because starting is often harder than continuing. When the task looks huge, your brain says, later. When the task looks tiny, your brain says, okay. So make English small. Practice 17. The morning English test. Tomorrow morning before you check social media, say 3 English sentences. They can be about your morning. For example, I need to get ready. I have a busy day. I need to leave soon. Create your own. 3 sentences. That is your morning test. Practice 18. English during travel. If you travel by bus, train, car, or on foot, use that time. Put on a slow English podcast. Listen for 5 minutes. Do not understand every word. Catch the main idea. Then repeat 1 sentence quietly or aloud when appropriate. If you are in public, you can speak softly. You can also repeat in your head. The important thing is to listen actively. Practice 19. The 1-sentence memory test. Listen to a sentence. Then turn the screen away. Can you remember it? Try this. I thought today would be easier. Now do not look. Say it from memory. Good. Now another. We still have plenty of time. Look away. Say it. Excellent. This exercise trains your memory, and it teaches your brain to pull English out when you need it. Why retrieval matters. There is a big difference between seeing English and producing English. When you see a sentence, you may think, oh yes, I know this. But when someone asks you a question, can you produce it? That is why memory practice matters. You need to pull English out, not only recognize it, so give your brain small tests. Listen, hide, remember, speak. That is a strong practice. Practice 20. The question game. I will ask you a simple question. Do not answer in your first language. Answer in English. What did you do this morning? Pause. Answer. Good. Next. What are you going to do tonight? Pause. Answer. Good. Next. What is one thing you want to improve? Pause. Answer. Excellent. Your answer does not need to be long. 1 sentence is enough. The nervous speaking problem. Now let us talk about nervousness. You may think, what if I make a mistake? Here is the solution. Let the mistake happen. Yes, that sounds strange. But mistakes are part of speaking. If you wait until you can speak perfectly, you may wait for years. Instead, speak with simple sentences. If the other person understands you, communication worked. That is success. Practice 21. The Mistake Challenge. For 1 minute, speak English without stopping. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are not allowed to quit because of a mistake. If you forget a word, explain it another way. For example, if you forget the word pharmacy, you might say, the place where I buy medicine. That is communication. You found another way. Keep going. Why real life feels different. Textbook. English can be neat. Real conversations are messy. People pause. People change their sentence. People use short words. People speak with different accents. Someone in Edinburgh may sound different from someone in Los Angeles. Someone in Ottawa may sound different from someone in Bristol. Someone in Melbourne may sound different from someone in Paris. This is why listening practice matters. Your ears need variety. Practice 22. Accent comfort. Choose one English-speaking place. Maybe the UK, maybe Canada, maybe the US, maybe Australia. Listen to a short speaker from that place. Do not copy the accent. Just notice the sound. Ask, can I understand the main idea? If yes, good. Next time you may understand more. Your goal is comfort. A small story about progress. Let me tell you about Mark. Mark wanted to speak English at work. Every morning he promised, tonight I will study for 1 hour. But after work he was exhausted, so he changed the plan. He began practicing during his journey home. 10 minutes, that was all. He listened to a short English lesson. Then he repeated a few sentences. After several weeks, he noticed something. He was no longer afraid of hearing English. Before, English had felt like noise. Now it felt more familiar. That was progress. Not because he studied harder, because he made English easier to fit into his life. Practice 23. Build your personal English menu. Choose 5 activities. Number 1, listening. Number 2, speaking. Number 3, reading aloud. Number 4, recording. Number 5, thinking. Now decide when you will do them. Maybe listening in the morning, speaking during lunch, reading aloud after dinner, recording before bed, thinking in English during travel. Make your own plan. Do not copy mine. Your plan should fit your life. The important rule. Your plan must be easy enough to repeat. If your plan says, I will study 3 hours every day, maybe you will do it once, then you stop. A smaller plan can be better. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The best routine is often the one you can continue. Practice 24. The 5-day challenge. Here is your challenge for the next 5 days. Day 1. Listen for 10 minutes. Day 2. Shadow for 10 minutes. Day 3. Record yourself for 2 minutes. Day 4. Read aloud for 5 minutes. Day 5. Speak about your day for 3 minutes. That is it. 5 days. Do not think about 1 year. Think about 5 days. Can you do 5 days? I believe you can. Emotional reminder. And if you miss a day, do not quit. Start again. If you miss 2 days, start again. If you make mistakes, start again. If you feel embarrassed, start again. You are not starting from zero. You are starting with experience. That matters. In the final part, we are going to put everything together. You will do a full shadowing practice with me. And I want you to stay until the end because the final exercise will test whether you can listen, remember, and speak without looking at the words. Part 5. The Final Shadowing Challenge. This is your moment. Welcome to the final part. You have listened. You have repeated. You have thought in English. You have spoken. Now we put everything together. And remember something. You do not have to sound like Peter. You do not have to sound British. You do not have to sound American. You do not have to sound Canadian. You do not have to sound Australian. You need your English clear, comfortable, confident. That is enough. Practice 25. Listen first. I will give you a short passage. Do not repeat yet. Just listen. This morning, I decided to change one small thing. Instead of waiting for the perfect time to practice English, I used 10 minutes before I started my day. I listened carefully, repeated a few sentences, and spoke about what I could see around me. It was not perfect, but I did it. And tomorrow I can do it again. Good. Now think. What was the main idea? The person did not wait for the perfect time. They used a small amount of time. They listened, they repeated, they spoke, and they planned to continue. Now we shadow it. Practice 26, sentence by sentence. Listen. This morning, I decided to change one small thing. Pause. Your turn. Good. Next. Instead of waiting for the perfect time to practice English, pause. Speak. Good. Next. I used 10 minutes before I started my day. Your turn. Excellent. Next. I listened carefully, repeated a few sentences, and spoke about what I could see around me. Pause. Take your time. Speak. Very good. Next. It was not perfect, but I did it. Your turn. Good. And the final sentence. And tomorrow I can do it again. Say it. Excellent. Practice 27. No looking. Now we make it harder. Do not look at the sentences. Try to remember the main ideas. Start speaking. You can say it in your own words. Maybe. This morning I wanted to improve my English. I did not wait for a perfect time. I practiced for 10 minutes. Keep going. Do not worry about exact words. This is important. You are now creating English. You are not only copying English, that is a big step. Practice 28. Your real-life story. Now forget my story. Tell me yours. Answer these questions. What did you do today? Where did you go? Who do you speak to? What was easy? What was difficult? What do you want to do tomorrow? You can answer each question with one sentence. Pause after each question. Speak. Take your time. Excellent. Practice 29. The fast brain test. Now I will give you 5 simple situations. Situation 1. You are late. Say something. Pause. Situation 2. Someone asks you for help. Say something. Pause. Situation 3. You do not understand what someone said. Say something. Pause. Situation 4. You want to buy something. Say something. Pause. Situation 5. You want to join a conversation. Say something. Pause. Well done. You are practicing real communication. The secret. Let me tell you the secret. There is no crazy sentence. There is no special accent. There is no perfect app that will do everything for you. The real secret is simple. You hear English. You use English. You repeat English. You return tomorrow. Then you do it again. And again. That is how your brain gets more comfortable. Why you should not give up. Maybe you have tried English before. Maybe you stopped. Maybe you started again. Maybe you felt that other people were learning faster. Please do not compare your beginning with someone else's middle. Your journey is yours. Maybe today you can speak for 30 seconds. Tomorrow, maybe 1 minute. Later, maybe 5 minutes. That is progress. Do not laugh at small progress. Small progress is still progress. Practice 30. The confidence sentence. Now I want you to say 5 sentences. First, I can improve my English. Your turn. Second, I do not need to be perfect. Your turn. Third, I can learn from mistakes. Your turn. Fourth, I can practice a little every day. Your turn. Fifth, I will keep going. Your turn. Excellent. Those sentences are simple, but simple words can carry a strong message. Your 7-day shadowing plan. Now let us create a simple 7-day challenge. Day 1. Listen for 10 minutes. Do not worry about speaking. Day 2. Listen and repeat 5 sentences. Day 3. Record yourself for 2 minutes. Day 4. Read aloud for 5 minutes. Day 5. Describe your day in English. Day 6. Watch one short English video and repeat 3 sentences. Day 7. Do a full 5-minute speaking practice. You do not need expensive tools. You do not need a special room. You need your voice, your ears, and a little time. A final transformation story. Remember Daniel from the beginning? He once thought, my English is bad. But later, he changed the question. Instead of asking, why am I not fluent? He asked, what can I practice today? That question gave him something he could control. One sentence, one recording, one listening session, one conversation, one day, then another. His English did not suddenly become perfect. It became easier. And sometimes, easier is the first sign that you are getting better. The final challenge. Now I want you to do something after this video. Do not just close the video and forget it. Take your phone. Open your voice recorder. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Speak in English. Talk about your day. Talk about your plans. Talk about something you enjoy. If you stop, continue. If you forget a word, explain it another way. If you make a grammar mistake, keep speaking. For 3 minutes, your only rule is do not quit. That is your final challenge. Power recap. Let us quickly remember what we learned. We learned that shadowing means listening and speaking soon after the speaker. We learned that slow English is useful training. We learned that you do not need perfect grammar. We learned that listening should become part of your day. We learned that thinking in simple English can reduce translation. We learned that reading aloud gives your mouth practice. We learned that recording yourself can show you where you need work. We learned that short videos can become English practice. We learned that busy days do not have to stop your progress. And most importantly, we learned that mistakes are not the end. They are part of the process. One last question. So let me ask you, are you going to wait until your English is perfect? Or are you going to practice while it is still imperfect? I hope you choose practice, because you do not need to become a different person to speak English. You only need to give yourself more English moments. One small moment, then another. That is how change starts. Final motivation. Maybe you are living in London, maybe Manchester, maybe Birmingham, maybe Glasgow, maybe Toronto, maybe Vancouver, maybe New York, maybe Los Angeles, maybe Sydney, maybe Melbourne, or maybe you are somewhere in Europe. Wherever you are, remember this. Your location does not decide how much you can practice. Your past does not decide how good your English can become. And one difficult day does not decide your future. Keep listening. Keep speaking. Keep making mistakes. Keep trying. And when your brain says, I cannot do this, answer it with something simple. Not yet. But I am learning. That is the mindset I want you to carry with you. And remember, I am not asking you to study English all day. I am asking you to make English part of your day. 10 minutes today, 10 minutes tomorrow, then another day. Little by little, your ears become stronger. Your mouth becomes more comfortable. Your brain becomes quicker. And one day, you may notice something beautiful. You are speaking without thinking about every single word. That is the moment we are working toward. So, my friend, do not give up. You are not too old. You are not too busy. You are not too slow. You are learning. And if you made it all the way to the end of this lesson, you have already proved one thing. You can stay with English. Now take that same energy into tomorrow. Listen, shadow, speak, repeat. Keep going. And if this video was informative and useful for you, please like the video. And leave a comment telling me, I am starting the challenge today. I really want to know who is joining me. And do not forget to subscribe to Learn English Unleashed for more slow, clear, friendly English practice. Take care. Keep practicing. Keep believing in yourself. And I will see you in the next video.